The Book of Mormon has things to say about skin and darkness and marks that make a lot of people uncomfortable. So perhaps it's not surprising that people have tried to find ways to avoid those implications by saying the black skin is just a metaphor, or that it could have been animal skins instead of human skin. But what if there's an explanation that actually aligned better with how terms like mark and black were used in the Old Testament, that was based on actual practices of marking skin that were used in ancient America, and that actually fit better with how skin was referenced in the Book of Mormon text? One answer comes from an article that came out a couple years ago from Clifford P. Jones that talks about the extensive practice of tattooing in ancient Mesoamerica. These tattoos were much more than a butterfly on your lower back. They involved extensive darkening and scarring of the skin, often at the scale of the entire body. And the law of Moses had strong prohibitions against these types of markings. Faithful Israelites would have seen them as abhorrent and as a distinguishing marker of pagan culture. And we actually have an example of a Spanish conquistador who mingled with native tribes, got a full set of tattoos, and was subsequently afraid to reintegrate with Spanish culture because of what he'd done to his body. When the Old Testament uses the word mark, it's usually referring to marks imprinted on skin, including the Hebrew ka'aka, which refers to a specific pagan marking that was considered cursed. And Old Testament words like white or black could refer to any number of different colors, and could definitely be used in symbolic ways. The closest phrase we get comes from Job and his diseased skin of blackness. This could help explain the odd way that cursed skin is discussed in the Book of Mormon, where it's applied almost immediately to the unrighteous, but it's a lagging indicator of repentance. It takes a generation or two before their skin becomes white and fair. If God was just magically changing their skin color, you'd expect that to be immediate both ways. And if it was changing due to intermarriage, you'd expect it to take a lot longer. With tattoos, though, all you'd have to do is wait for the rising generation to not follow those pagan practices. Jones makes a compelling case, one that busts through our preconceptions of the dark mark in the Book of Mormon, while also making way more sense than just assuming that Joseph was responsible for the text. The article thoroughly outlines all of this and compares its strengths and weaknesses to a number of different proposals. Go ahead and take a look, and I'll see you next week.